Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by Mellon PSFS. It's where you're going. By your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.
Hi, everybody, from Veterans Stadium. Harry Callis with Chris Wheeler and Andy Musser. Final game of the series between the Phils and the Cincinnati Reds here at the Vet. Reds have had the Phillies number this year as they did last year. The Phillies are 3-7 against Cincinnati, and this will be the final game. Umpires are out at home plate. The lineup cards have been exchanged at home plate. And the Phillies are taking the field on a beautiful afternoon here at Veterans Stadium. Steve Ripley will call the balls and strikes today. Mark Hirschbeck at first. Brian Gorman at second, and Charlie Williams will umpire at third. Jack McKeon taking over for Ray Knight as manager of the Cincinnati Reds. After Knight was fired, McKeon has the Reds playing .500 ball under him. They are 24-24. Here's Cincinnati's lineup. Jack McKeon will have Pokey Reese at shortstop leading off. Jon Nunnally in center field bats second. Chris Stynes, left fielder, hitting third. Eduardo Perez at first base bats fourth. Willie Green, the third baseman, hitting fifth. Reggie Sanders, right field, bats sixth. Eddie Taubensee catching, hitting seventh. Brett Boone at second base bats eighth. And Brett Tomko, the pitcher, will hit ninth. That lineup is facing Tyler Green.
There's Tyler Green, who had an outstanding game his last time out against the New York Mets in that 1-0 game at Shea Stadium. There are his overall numbers, and he seems to be getting more and more arm strength as the time goes along. See, he tied his career high with 9 strikeouts in that game Tuesday night in New York. The Phillies have a lot of hope for Tyler Green for the rest of this year and next year.
So Tyler Green, the 27-year-old first-round draft pick of the Phils in the June '91 draft. Defensively behind Tyler, it'll be Kevin Jordan at third. Scott Rowland getting a well-deserved day off. Kevin Stocker at shortstop. Mickey Morandini second. Rico Brogna at first. Mike Lieberthal catching. Billy McMillan in left. Midray Cummings in center. And Tony Barron in right. Pokey Reese leads it off for the Reds. He's hitting at .226. 1 ball and no strikes to Pokey Reese. For Green, key to his performance is control. He does not have a real good strikeout walk ratio. 45 strikeouts, 37 walks in 61 innings, and he needs to throw strikes.
Yeah, he does, Harry. And the other night he was telling us that he really has gotten confidence in his changeup, which is a pitch he didn't have before. Now, you don't throw a lot of old 2-0 changeups.
Get into right field, and Tony Barron makes the running catch. Pokey Reese is retired, 1 down.
You know, he used to be, when we first saw him, he threw much harder and he had a good knuckle curveball, but he's had so many arm problems, and he feels that the changeup is his key to getting back to competing, and he thinks that he has that pitch to the point where he can't compete with it.
Seems to be much more confident in the changeup than that knuckle curve. Throws more of it.
He is more confident in it.
Here's Jon Nunnally. Nunnally coming over from Kansas City on July 15th, and it deal that looks good so far for Cincinnati. He's hitting at .301, 9 homers, 24 RBIs. 13-game hitting streak during the course of this season, which is the longest by any Red. Reds got Nunnally and the on-deck man Chris Stynes in that deal from Kansas City for pitchers Hector Carrasco and Scott Service. Now balls and 2 strikes to Nunnally. 1 and 2.
And both these guys have moved into the starting lineup for them and done a very good job, both offensively and pretty well defensively.
Lines a base hit back through the middle. Nunnally is a 1-out base runner.
Threw him 3 straight curveballs, and he finally just reached out and nailed this one into center field. He fools him a little bit, but I think after he'd seen 3 in a row, Nunnally had a little bit better idea of the plane of that pitch.
Nunnally not really a base stealer. He's stolen 4. He's been thrown out 3 times. The Reds do lead the league in stolen bases. But of course they're not playing with Deion Sanders now either, who still leads the league in steals. Stynes takes one a little bit high for a ball, 1-0.
If Dion had played here all year, he would have led the league in steals. Now it appears Tony Womack of Pittsburgh has a good chance to overtake him.
Yeah, Dion has 56 and Womack 4 behind him at 52 with a couple of weeks to play yet. Two balls and no strikes to Stynes, who's batting at .355.
This guy has a very open stance. He goes into the ball. They had a little bit of luck trying to get inside on him, but he appears to be fairly quick.
Three and nothing. Stynes is 24 years old, from Boca Raton, Florida. Spent most of this year at the AAA level. 3-1. Tyler Green has never faced Cincinnati before. This is his first appearance against the Reds. Nunnally back. He's at first with one down here in the top of the first.
That's Green's a little better move, and he has one even better than that. Tyler Green can pick anybody off first if they wander off too much. He's one of the best right-handed moves in the league because his feet are so quick.
Runner goes, pitches inside. It doesn't matter. He walked him. So the Reds with two men on base and one out for Eduardo Perez. Phillies pitching in the second half has done a lot better job in limiting the number of bases on balls. They no longer lead the league in walks, which they did almost the entire first half of the season. That's the 577th walk issued by the staff. Far too many, but they've been getting better at it. Florida leads the league, surprisingly, in issuing walks.
It is surprising because you look at their starting pitching and you think how good their starting pitching is, that they wouldn't have that many walks and be able to be where they are, where they have a heck of a shot to be the wild card team.
Yeah. Eduardo Perez hitting at .264.
And they're staying right on the tail of the Atlanta Braves, too. They have not let up.
Michael Curve is over for a called strike to Eduardo Perez.
Phillies are going to get back into the pennant race tomorrow because when the Mets come in. The Mets pulled a game out yesterday that was amazing, and they still think they have the wild card, and then the Florida Marlins come after that.
And of course, the final homestand of the season will bring to Veterans Stadium, Atlanta and Florida.
Yeah, you never know. Those games could be important.
They very well could be.
It also will be a barometer for the Phillies on whether or not they lose those 100 games or not, because they're trying not to. At one point, it seems certain they're going to have some tough games coming up in the last 2 weeks of the season against teams that need to win.
Incidentally, a lot of people have asked us about any kind of tribute to Darren Dalton when the Florida Marlins come in for the final weekend of the season. Ground ball shortstop, might be two to Morandini, one. Easy double play. Wow. Perez didn't get down the line at all, and they turned two. We'll get back to the Dutch Dalton story in a second. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left. After a half inning of play, Phil's coming to bat. Reds nothing. Terry Francona's starting lineup for the Phils this afternoon. Meet Ray Cummings center field. Mickey Morandini second base. Billy McMillan a late entry into the lineup in left field. Kevin Jordan third base. Rico Bronya will be at first base. Mike Lieberthal catching. Tony Barrett at right. Kevin Stocker the shortstop, and Tyler Green pitching. They're facing Brett Tomko, a good-looking young right-hander.
There is Tomko, made his major league debut against the Phillies and pitched very well in that ball game. He happened to run into Kurt Schilling, who struck out 11, and he lost it 2-1. There are his overall numbers.
Pretty good numbers. 10-6 for a rookie pitcher, and he pops up Mead Ray Cummings on the first pitch. Pokey Reese waits and puts it away for out number one. Cummings out on one pitch, and that'll bring up Mickey Morandini. Getting back to the Darren Dalton thing, so many people have asked if the Phillies are going to honor Dutch Dalton for his inspirational and long Phillies career. It's not going to happen this year. He's involved in tough games, and it was discussed with Darren. And Darren and the Phillies have mutually agreed that such an event should take place after his playing career has ended.
But he will be here next week in the uniform of the Florida Marlins and competing
here,
against the Phillies.
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike to Morandini. That's hooking foul, right field side. 1-2 the count to Mickey Morandini. He broke his bat. He'll get a different one. Tomko is 24 years old. Comes out of Florida Southern. Big guy, 6'4", 215. A 95-round draft pick. Second round in June '95. He was a second-round draft pick in that draft. And has had a pretty good rookie year.
There's your Nissan scouting report on him. When we saw him in that first game in Cincinnati, he had a very good fastball. There it is, low 90s fastball. Has added a slider, curve, changeup, and like many guys, when he's up in the strike zone, he gets into trouble.
2-2 it holds to Morandini. Belated birthday wishes to Dave Hunter in Spring City from his mom Marion and from us. Close. Full count to Morandini. Fouls that one out of play.
Ed Lamb of Northeast Philadelphia, a very special birthday today. 100 years old to a very special Phillies fan. And to Mike and Thelma McGowan of Philadelphia, happy 50th anniversary.
Morandini is aboard with a walk. And it will bring up Billy McMillan. McMillan hasn't played in a while. Had a death in the family, which has kept him away from the ball club, and he was actually a last-minute insertion in the lineup this afternoon. Greg Jeffries was in the original lineup, but Jeffries still bothered with a hamstring muscle pull.
Yeah, he pinch hit in the ball game yesterday and struck out, and they thought he'd be able to go today, but he was a late scratch because of the hammy problem. McMillan lost his mom a few weeks ago and has had a very difficult time with that, and they've been trying to assimilate him back into the ball club, and you know, unfortunately today with Jeffries as a scratcher, they're trying to get him out here play.
25-year-old Clemson University product. Morandini gets back.
McMillan was a guy that they wanted to look at quite a bit here late in the season, coming from Florida and that Darren Dalton deal, but he has been away for a while.
Morandini takes off. McMillan fouls it back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morandini had a good jump, but the pitch was fouled off. It's been a while since Mickey's stolen a base. He's been sitting on that 14 steals mark for a long time.
And he'd been sitting on 37 doubles for a while, too, until yesterday. That appeared to be a hit and run with McMillan ahead in the count. That's a good way to get a guy back into a ball game. You know, have him ahead in the count and try and just let him make contact and move somebody.
Up and in, 2 balls and a strike. As Tomko has the most wins for a rookie pitcher for Cincinnati since Tim Pugh won 10 in '93. Their all-time rookie record by a pitcher for wins, 20. Tom Browning. Morandini goes again, swing and a miss. Taubman sees throw right on the bag. Strikeout, double play. Oh, no, it was not a strikeout. Excuse me. Strike 2. Morandini erased. 2 balls and 2 strikes to McMillan.
As Harry said, the throw's right on the back. It's a little high, but a quick tag there by Pokey Reese. Morandini thought he was safe. It was tough to tell on that replay.
Now he is struck out looking, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. At the end of 1, it's a 0-0 game. After 1 inning of play, Phil's 0, Cincinnati 0. Upcoming telecasts of Phillies baseball include tomorrow's doubleheader with the Mets on Prism starting at 5 o'clock and Tuesday night's game beginning at 7:30. Willie Green leads it off, hitting at .253. 24 home runs. He's knocked in 79. Leads the team in homers and in RBIs. 2 balls and no strikes to Willie Green.
Willie Green's a player that the Reds have felt for several years had power and was going to have a breakthrough year as far as power goes. Defensively, he's not a real good defensive player. He's okay. So they haven't been able to find a spot for him. You know, we saw him in the outfield the other night. He struggled a little bit out there. Third base, he's an okay third baseman. So, but when a guy hits 24 home runs, drives in around 80 runs, you want to try and find a spot for him.
Got way out in front of that good changeup. 2-2 the count to Willie Green. Tyler Green using that changeup, and he'll use it like he did there. 2-1. Struck him out. First strikeout for Tyler Green. 1 down here in the second.
Changeup makes him a 3-pitch pitcher. The fastball, the curveball, and the good changeup. Now here's the curveball. And after a changeup that fooled Willie Green, he flopped it over for a strike. The changeup has come out of necessity for Tyler Green, and he really likes that pitch.
Reggie Sanders batting at .253, 19 homers. He's knocked in 51. The appeal goes to Mark Hirschbeck, who says he offered 1 strike to Sanders. Tyler Green's been particularly effective against right-hand hitters. Right-hand hitters hitting just 200 against him coming into the game. One ball and 1 strike to Reggie Sanders.
Birthday wishes today to Eleanor Scardino of Hamilton, New Jersey, who's 70, and Johnny Murray of Brigantine, New Jersey.
Pops a foul coming back and out of play. 1-2 the count to Reggie Sanders. One out, no base runners. We're in the second of a 0-0 game. A little bit high with a fastball. 2-2. New York Mets move in tomorrow. Twilight double bill at 5:05. Had him clinching on a good knuckle curveball. 2 straight strikeouts for Tyler Green.
He did really flinch too. Watch his knees buckle here as Tyler Green throws it right at him, and there go the knees.
Yeah,
right and there. As a hitter, all you can hope is that pitch isn't a strike.
Well, when he first came out of Wichita State, that was his pitch, that devastating knuckle curve. It's not quite what it was when he first came out of college, but it's still there, as we saw. Morandini throws out Taubinson, and that'll be it for Cincinnati here in the second. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's a 0-0 game. Bottom half of the second inning, Kevin Jordan leads it off. Scott Rowland getting a day off, and Evans knows the rookie deserves a day off. Scott has played not only just about every game, but just about every inning of every game.
And he's never played this much in his life. You know, players that have been in the minor leagues and then come to the big leagues, even though they don't want to admit it sometimes, you do start to wear down a little bit this time of the year.
Kevin Jordan lost a high foul. It's going to go out of play.
Scott Rowland is big, strong, young. He has everything going for him, but he's probably just a little bit tired right now and is not catching up to a lot of pitches that he caught up to earlier and will catch up to again.
Jordan batting .262. Our trivia question of the afternoon brought to you by the new Dodge. When the Phillies won the National League Eastern Division in 1976, 78, 80, and 83, they did it with a different second baseman each time. Can you name the 4 different second basemen? 76, 78, 80, and 83.
Well, we'll try.
Cues a one-hopper to Eduardo Perez, who still makes the play. Good recovery by Perez on the spinning cue shot off the bat of Kevin Jordan.
Kid around, say a ball spins like a top sometimes. That's exactly what that did. A right-handed hitter right off the end of the bat on AstroTurf, and it ate Eduardo Perez alive, but he still made a heck of a play. Look at it. That ball just came up spinning. Now he finally picks it up, and Tomko covered right away, and they nailed Jordan.
I'll bring up Rico Brogna hitting at .249. Brogna with 19 homers, one of them coming off Tomko, and the Phillies 2-1 win over Tomko at Synergy Field. One and one to Rico Brogna. Missed the fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And fastball 94. Tomko's been to high 90s with his fastball. Young man appears to have a good arm. We were all surprised after his major league debut, in which he pitched well, but Schilling outdueled him 2-1 and sent him down after that game.
Yeah, they had a numbers problem at that time, and
Yeah.
they sent him down for a little while, but they were very impressed with him. The Phillies players were impressed with him. I remember that they were talking pretty highly about him after the game.
Line drive. Oh, what a great grab by Brett Boone. Boone, for the 3rd straight year, is probably going to lead the league in second baseman and defense. In fielding percentage. That's a great play by Brett.
One of these days he ought to win a Gold Glove too.
Yeah.
With all those numbers that Harry just mentioned, Brett's never won a Gold Glove, and that was a tremendous reaction play. A line drive on 1 hop, full extension, and throws him out. Those plays are routine for him.
Brings on Mike Lieberthal. Lieberthal hitting at .254. He's been in a bit of a tailspin of late. Nothing for his last 12.
George Goldschmidt of Northeast Philadelphia. Happy birthday number 75. Belated 90th birthday to Glenn Smith from Lebanon.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Phil's Television Network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL-TV, Philadelphia.
2 balls and no strikes to Lieberthal with 2 outs and no base runners. 3-0. Walked him on 4 pitches. Lieberthal is a 2-out base runner. That's the 2nd walk given up by Tomko. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of the Phillies and WPHL-TV. Tony Barron, the batter, he's hitting at .271. Hot shot past the diving Pokey Reese, and the ball juggled out in center by Jon Nunnally. Lieberthal will hold at third. Ball juggled by Brett Boone, but it's a hot potato. But the Phillies have runners at second and third. There will be a hit and probably an error on Nunnally.
Yeah, they'll give an error on Nunnally to allow the advance by the base runners. John Vukovich wanted to bring Lieberthal, but Lieberthal is running as hard as he could. He just couldn't do it. And then, of course, Brett Boone fumbles a relay, but you don't know that's going to happen. Here's Nunnally trying to cut the ball off and then bobbles it. That allows Lieberthal to go to third, Barron to second, and that's where the error is charged. He did a good job, though, getting on that in a hurry after he bobbled it.
Brings up Kevin Stocker, who's hitting at .264. First base is open, but Tyler Green is a good hitting pitcher.
And managers hate to walk the 8-hole hitter in the second inning, you know, unless they're facing a pitcher that they're worried about being shut out.
1 ball and no strikes to Kevin Stocker.
You will see it happen sometimes if there's a real strong pitcher on the other side, and you think, gee, we may not get much today, so I'm not going to give up anything cheap with 2 outs. But you don't see them walk that 8-hole hitter off in this early.
Philly runners second and third with 2 down. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, those pitches have not been close.
Now they're going to put him on. They
Yeah.
are going to put him on intentionally. So this will be the 3rd walk given up by Tomko, and Tyler Green has a chance to help himself. And he's been swinging the bat well, hitting .368 with a couple of doubles. Jack McKeon opting to put the 8-hole hitter on.
Well, they pitched carefully. That's why I said 2-0. It was obvious they weren't going after him early in the count. Even if you get Tyler Green out here, one of the other things about walking the 8-hole hitter that managers don't like to do is it gives the other team a chance to turn over the lineup more often.
Green lifetime is a very respectable hitting pitcher. .231 lifetime with a homer and 5 RBIs. Took a pitch for a strike. 0-1 to Tyler Green.
Tyler's been seeing a lot of breaking balls lately, and he almost was defensive there. He got a first ball fastball, and he was taking, and probably sorry about that because he can hit some fastballs.
Got the breaking ball, nubs the ground ball to Boone, who throws out Tyler Green, and that'll be it for the Phils in the second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 men left. After 2, 0-0. Well, the final homestand of the season brings the vet, the Atlanta Braves, and Darren Dalton, Jim Eisenreich, and the Florida Marlins. Braves in 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Marlins in the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Order your tickets for that final homestand by calling 215-463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets. Brett Boone leads it off. He's hitting at .221, 1-0. We talked about Boone's fielding. He's only made 2 errors. He's got a chance to set the National League record for highest fielding percentage. 100 or more games by a second baseman.
So what is it, a fielding award or an offensive award? He should win a Gold Glove one of these years.
Yeah, that's Ken Boswell of the 70 Mets and Jose Oquendo of the 90 Cardinals. Had a fielding percentage of .99642, and Boone's is .99695 at this point.
Yeah, it's not as if he's some statue out there too that just waves at balls and has a good fielding percentage. He's very mobile,
as we saw in the earlier play. Line drive right field, but barren there, and Brett Boone is retired. He's hit a lot of line drives to right in this series.
Well, it looks like he's maybe trying to cut down this swing a little bit. That's always been the knock on Brett offensively, and he's had a tough offensive year.
Brett Tomko, the pitcher, is hitting at 107. Our trivia question of the afternoon brought to you by the new Dodge. And the Phillies won the National League Eastern Division in 76, 78, 80, and 83. They did it with 4 different second basemen. Can you name the 4?
1976, Dave Cash.
AC is correct.
78, Ted Sizemore.
Ted Sizemore is also correct. Chopped up the middle. Kevin Stocker fields behind second. Throws out Tomko. 2 down.
Number 80. 86, Manuel Trio.
Manny Trio. Wasn't he the MVP of the LCS?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And in 1983, your pal and mine, the Sweet Pea Joe Morgan.
Very good. Wheels. Cash in 76, Sizemore in 78, Manny Trio in 80, and Joe Morgan in 83. 2 outs and no base runners, and the batter will be Pokey Reese.
Talk about guys that fit into the ball club. I mean, they were, well, Joe Morgan was a superstar in his own right, but the other guys, you know, they were just perfect components for those real good teams.
Yeah. Pokey flied out to right his first time up. 1 ball and no strikes.
Happy anniversary, number 58, to Ernest and Anna Scalzo from Roxborough.
Just missed wide. 2 balls and no strikes to Reese. Reese getting a chance to play on an everyday basis with Barry Larkin out for the year. Reese has Real good actions at shortstop.
Great arm.
Yeah.
And he's anything but pokey when he runs too. He moves around well. Larkin, one of the premier players in baseball, but they have to be very happy to have this young man in reserve.
24 years old, out of South Carolina. 3 balls and a strike to Pokey Reese. Beats a foul, full count. Doubleheader with the Mets tomorrow at 5:05. Can never remember seeing a double bill in which all 4 starting pitchers in the doubleheader will be left-handed.
That's right. Phillies have faced 2 left-handers here on Friday night.
Brian Bohannon, Joe Crawford for the Mets. Low throw, dug out as always by Rico Brogna. Nice play by Rico, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's a 0-0 game. Nothing game in the bottom of the 3rd. Midray Cummings leads it off. He popped up his first time up. 1 strike to Cummings. Pops a foul, coming back and just below us. Just above us. Now balls and 2 strikes to Midray Cummings. Check swing foul, still 0-2. Nothing game. We are in the bottom of the 3rd. Both teams, the Reds and the Phils, struggling offensively. Reds have the lowest team batting average in the league at .252. Phils the 2nd lowest, and Reds have scored the fewest runs. The Phils the 2nd fewest. That goes Perez to Tomko. 1 down. Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota every day. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Mickey Morandini walked his first time up and slices a fly ball left field. Foul ground. Good play by Chris Stynes in foul ground for out number 2. Stynes had a long run for it, made a nice play.
Stynes, a guy getting a chance to play in the major leagues and making the most out of it. Down with his sunglasses, a long run towards the line, and catches it just before he slams into the fence out there.
Ball girl had to scurry to get out of the way of the left fielder, and she did.
She was trying to gauge which way he was going and then make sure she went the other way.
Billy McMillan was called out on strikes his first time up and lost a high pop to shallow left. Shortstop Pokey Reese puts it away. A quick inning for Tomko. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Andy Musser joins Chris Wheeler in the 4th after 3. We're 0-0.
Anything in life that's worth going after is worth saving for. And there's just one place to go for the best ways to save. At Mellon, we have a full range of investment and checking options for you to choose from. Right now, you can come to Mellon for a deal this good. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
I teach 1st grade.
I teach high school classes.
As soon as school gets out, we pack up our camper and we start out traveling. We get Scotty's schedule and we decide where we're going to go. We're all loaded up with groceries and clothes and the dog. And
We'd much rather be out in the woods than we would downtown somewhere.
we love to follow them. We like to see the different ballparks. Other guys might think, well, gee, his parents are camping instead of in motels like ours. But to Scotty, he's used to that. He'd be surprised if we didn't.
Make the right call in picking up dirt. With Hoover, you're always safe.
Hoover, nobody. Play ball. Does it like Hoover.
You'll move.
Hoodlum is filmmaking on a grand scale, thrilling, an electric three-prong attack. And Fishburne is fierce, magnetic, irresistible, says the Los Angeles Times.
Get ready for your final thrill.
Hoodlum, rated R, now playing.
Travel provided by U.S. Airways. U.S. Airways offers the only daily non-stop service from Philadelphia to Rome, Italy.
Jon Nunnally, who has the only hit for Cincinnati, leads off the fourth inning. Takes that one low and in. The first pitch had been a strike. It's 1-1 on Nunnally. His single to center field back in the first inning is the only hit that Tyler Green has given up. Little bouncer, first base side foul. Nunnally committed an error in center field when a ball got by him, but it really hasn't hurt him.
This game is very much like the game of yesterday, where there was very little offense and the pitchers basically dominating throughout.
Phillies have not been getting a lot of runs, save for the second end of the doubleheader here Friday. A jam job fly ball left field. McMillan on the run, knows it's going to bounce, and now it bounces over his head. He got caught there, and Nunnally winds up at second base. That's one of those plays where you either have to do or you don't, and you got to make up your mind quicker than that.
Right, especially on a day game, because the ball's going to bounce higher on the AstroTurf, and Billy McMillan got too close to it, and now it bounced, and then it bounced over his head.
The old Sunday hop here at the bet.
Yeah, here it is. At this point, he can't catch it, but he also is not going to be able to prevent an extra base out of it. But he did go back and grab it. Sometimes those things will bounce even further. You see a triple or an inside the park home run.
If you're going to see a triple or an inside the parker, that's the way those are the kinds of balls that they occur on. Here's Stynes now, and he walked first time up. He takes inside for a ball.
Phillies would like to send their best along to the Henry Spalding family. Henry recently lost his wife Violet. It would have been her 70th birthday on the 16th of this month and their 52nd anniversary on the 17th. So we send our condolences and best wishes along to Henry and his family.
That's a foul ball.
That was a swing of a man trying to give himself up.
Yeah, you bet.
He tried to inside out that ball to the right side. It looked very awkward the way he did it, but he made an effort.
Well, I think both these teams are playing like they'd like to get that first run. You know, when you're in the fourth inning and there haven't been any posted, the first one's going to look big.
That's what happened in the game yesterday.
Now here's a bunt. He wants to do it on a bunt, but that's a foul ball, so it's 1-2. He'll go back to swinging now.
It appears they gave him a bunt then after he had a weak swing trying to move him over, because that was a flat-out turnaround, give yourself up sacrifice type bunt, not one where you drop it at the last second, try to take the defense by surprise.
Now Tyler steps back. You don't see the number 3 hitter in the lineup on all that often.
No, they want an early run, that's for sure. If you're going to have your number 3 hole hitter try to give himself up or bunt. Well, the Reds don't have a lot of thunder in their lineup. They're very similar to the Phillies. They need to manufacture runs. There he had another give it up swing and not able to get it done.
It's a ball and 2 strikes now on Stynes. Eduardo Perez waiting on deck, and Tyler Green coming off an outstanding effort at Shea Stadium, winning that ball game 1-0. That was on Tuesday night. Here's the right field swing. It's a fair ball. He gets a bonus out of that baby. Coming around third is Nunnally. He will score. It's a double for Stynes. Red lead 1-0. That's the bonus that we've often talked about. Wheels trying to hit behind the runner, and you dunk it in.
Yeah, and he just barely got it inside the foul line, too. Stynes kept trying to give himself up, once with a bunt and a couple times with that kind of inside-out swing. Bronya came very close to a spectacular catch and not quite able to come up with it.
RBI double for Stynes, his 19th run batted in since joining the Reds. Congratulations in the dugout for Nunnally, who scores the day's first run. Now let's see if they employ the same strategy. They probably will not, now that they have a run on the board and their 4-hole hitter up there. Eduardo grounded into a double play first time up. He takes high for a ball.
Appeared to hurt himself a little bit going down the line, too, because he didn't run very well, and he was doing some deep knee bends down at first base after grounding into that double play.
Well, he's had his hands full out there at first base today. A couple of challenging plays. Well, Was he or wasn't?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, Eduardo Perez, a big, strong guy, and took a huge swing there and did inside out the ball the other way, whether or not he was trying to do it or not.
It didn't really look like it, did it?
No, not the way Stynes was making it very obvious what he was trying to do. Most of the time, you don't want your 4-hole hitter to hit a ground ball to second baseman. He did try to do it. And hit a wicked foul into the seats.
These Reds have been playing good ball since McKeon took over. In fact, they are even now, 24-24. He took over on the 25th of July when Ray Knight was dismissed. That's low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Here's that first at bat. See, he's really laboring going down the line and was out by a mile. And then when he got down to first base, you could see that he was in pain.
2-2 pitch. Got him with an off-speed delivery. Tyler gets his 3rd strikeout.
That was a curveball from Tyler Green. And Perez, with 2 strikes on him, is not into the hit the ball the other way mode. If he had been, he might have made contact with this. But he's in a pull swing as he opened up there and swung and missed.
Now Willie Green was called out on strikes in his only at bat today, and the sun breaks through here at the vet. Outside to Green, Willie is the club leader in homers and the top man in RBIs on his ball club. He has 24 homers, 79 runs batted in.
Happy anniversary number 46 to Bob and Harriet Bletz from Pensacola, New Jersey. Harriet Bletz and Pearl Decker are 2 of the very nice ladies who are season ticket holders here at the vet that drop off goodies in the booth over the years, and we wish them the best today.
I think we each have an extra inch on our waistline thanks to those 2.
It's Terry Francona looking on. His team's been a little bit of an offensive funk lately. It's been a very difficult week on everybody, and I think the players have been affected by it also.
You know, Wills, I was going to say to you, as a result of you and me both wearing contact lenses, my lenses have never felt better than they have this week. You know, tears are good for lenses.
Yeah, you didn't need any drops, that's for sure. Nope. This week.
Down to third base, and it gets on by a little squirter off the fence. Coming around third is Stynes. He scores the 2nd run. Willie Green gets his 80th RBI. 2-0 Reds.
Yeah, that's been a tough inning for Tyler Green. You know, they haven't hit the ball hard yet. The blooper to left, the little inside out humpback liner down the first base line. Now this one right off the end of the bat of Willie Green. Kevin Jordan can't get there, and that turns into an extra base hit. So 3 doubles in this inning, and they haven't hit one yet, but they're on the board.
So he's at second base now. And Reggie Sanders coming up. He too was called out on strikes first time up. Reds have the first 2 on the board. They won yesterday's ball game 3-0. Here's Lieberthal setting up outside, and Tyler misses. Your pitcher in a situation like this, you have to have confidence that your team will get you some runs and just go about your business. Tyler puts it on the money, but it's not caught.
I think he nailed Mickey with that too. Tyler Green just was determined to make a throw down to second, and more than anything, he got Mickey Morandini banged up on it. Here's a look. See, he fakes it the first time, and now here he comes with a throw, and it hit Morandini's bare hand after it went past his glove. It hit him on the bare hand. So he certainly didn't need that.
Sanders takes a strike.
I think he's out there flexing his fingers right now, trying to get a little feel back into that right hand.
He is not the first Reds base runner to annoy a Phillies pitcher this year, and I'm thinking of Deion Sanders and Curt Schilling. Remember that whole to-do? Deion got to third, well, stole third base, and then was dancing off third when Schill was out there one day, on a day when Schilling really, I would say, had his poorest stuff of the year. I mean, it was a real struggle for Schill that day, and he did not appreciate what Deion was doing.
Threw 3 or 4 long, I think it was 3 long balls that day, and was not in the mood for those kind of hot dog antics that were going on, and let Sanders know about it.
Wonder if Dion will ever play baseball again. I'd bet against it. I think he is realizing now that his body can't stand year-round wear and tear, and he's a football player.
And Tyler Green wants to know where that pitch was. He spent a long time looking in at Ripley after that, and you see him just go to the rosin bag. He thought he had a strike called on Sanders. We'll look at the replay. Well, it was supposed to be inside. It went outside, and I think it fooled everybody.
2-2 pitch. Back up the middle. Stocker can't play it. Here's Willie Green coming around to score the third run. Sanders RBI single, 3-0 Cincinnati.
That ball was hit hard by Reggie Sanders. They had not hit balls hard in this inning. That one right on the nose and through the middle for the hit.
So the Reds have the total by which they won yesterday's ball game, 3 runs.
It's a curveball, not really a bad pitch. A nice piece of hitting there by Reggie Sanders.
Now the left-handed batting Eddie Taubensee comes in. It concerns Francona because, as you mentioned, the Phils have not been scoring many runs. The only exception to that was game 2 of the doubleheader. They had a ton of runs in that one.
And a lot of that was caused by the fact that the Reds were awful on defense in that game.
Reds have played some strange defense. You know, they came in here to this series having committed the fewest errors in the league, and that cannot be said any longer. 2 balls, no strikes.
Send our best wishes along for a speedy recovery to Delma Battistini from Warrington, Pennsylvania. We'd also like to thank Dante and Delma for sending the beautiful mass card for Whitey, which we will pass along to the family.
Pop foul coming back out of play. Heard from our old friend Medio DeMarco this week. Medio's going to have hip replacement surgery on Wednesday. So we send him our best. We're thinking about him. Hope all goes well.
The Peach King.
The Peach Impresario. Yeah, Medio. He
from Hamilton.
He treated us to a good supply of peaches for years. And Tyler steps off. It's been a tough inning for him.
Well, he's in a little bit of a funk right now. He gave up a lot of cheap hits early on, and now he thought he had Sanders struck out, and he gets a base hit to center. He just has to regroup here and stop the bleeding.
Instead, he faces a 3-1 count on Taubensee. Taubensee primarily a catcher, but he's also played some first and the outfield. They like to get his left-handed bat in there when they can. Runner goes outside, ball 4. Second walk issued by Tyler, and the difficult inning continues with 2 on and 1 out.
That's going to get the bullpen up for the first time, and Galen Cisco to the mound.
Tomorrow night the Phillies have a doubleheader. That's Reggie Harris getting up, and Wills, both teams have left-handers scheduled in both games tomorrow. That's highly unusual.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, that Harry brought it up that he didn't ever remember a doubleheader where he had 4 left-handers starting.
I don't either. The official magazine of Phillies, final edition for the season, is out. It features a spectacular article on hot rookie race. It has a special note on the Phillies' own Scott Rowland, of course. Plus, there are stories on Jackie Robinson and Darren Dalton. A great publication full of colorful photos, facts, and wonderful stories. On sale now at the vet during games, or you can order it by phone, 215-463-1000, or make your purchase online at the Phillies website, phillies.com.
Happy 50th anniversary today to Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Dal Corso, longtime, lifetime residents, actually, of Trenton, New Jersey. Get a nice letter from their son, Gary, who makes his home in Mystic Island, New Jersey. So happy 50th to the Dal Corsos. Sure they're watching the ball game today.
Brett Boone. Booney out on a line drive to Tony Barron in right field for his time up. Rolls away, and the runners move along. To third goes Sanders. Taubensee takes second. Well, what can go wrong will go wrong this inning, I guess.
Yeah, this inning has gotten strange. That was a changeup low, bounced off the glove of Mike Lieberthal. We'll see how they score it. I don't believe they have. They're waiting on the replay.
That's a tough one. That was a tweener. I mean, now they're going to go ahead and walk Booney and pitch to pitch to Tomko. They call that a pass ball. So Booney will get the intentional pass, and that'll load him up. Let's talk about the Budweiser play of the game, and it was a play that was made by second sacker Brett Boone of Cincinnati when Bronya was up there. Bronya smoked one, and Booney was able to make the play. Budweiser play of the game right here. Watch this guy. He ranged into the hole. That looked like a base hit off the bat for sure, but Booney got in. Booney only has 2 errors since September 6th of last year. That's amazing.
You were talking about Brett earlier, how good he is defensively for a guy who has yet to win a Gold Glove, and you would think it's a matter of time till he's so honored. And then there would be a couple Gold Gloves in that family because Bob won one.
Well, now Tyler's got to get the ball over the plate. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Tomko, who will be told not to swing until he throws a strike. Bases loaded and still only 1 out in the inning. Tyler gets it over. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bob Boone won 3 Gold Gloves with oh no, those are All-Star. I want to look up Gold Gloves before I say he won one. I thought he did.
I think he did. Ground ball hit to short. They get an out there, but another run scores. Cincinnati leads it 4-0 as the Phillies take the fielder's choice, and Tomko gets his 3rd run batted in.
They're hoping he hit that ball at somebody and get a double play out of it, but Tomko hit it to the right of Stocker, and they could only get 1.
You know, the trouble with being sure that Booney won a Gold Glove here as a catcher, those were the days of Johnny Bench.
That's why I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Bench was winning that every year. Well, the Reds have batted around here now as Pokey comes up. Go to first, not in time.
Yeah, he won one in '78 and also in '79. And conceivably could have won one in the American League after he went over to California.
Yeah. Pokey Reese has popped up to right field and grounded to third. Takes one on the inside corner for a strike. That's the 28th pitch of the inning for Tyler Green. Tyler knows, of course, that Reggie Harris is loosening in the bullpen. Check swing roller. It goes foul first base side. Ron Oster, the first base coach. Now this ball game was scoreless when I came over here to join you, Wheels. Where'd we go wrong?
I don't know, but you just got yourself a basic bat around here.
Two and two.
Mike Lieberthal charged with a pass ball in this inning, but he's also blocked a number of pitches in the dirt. There was another one. And with a runner on third base, there's always more pressure on a catcher to call a curveball or something that he knows has a chance to be in the dirt.
And a called third strike ends it. Strikeout number 4 for Tyler, but the Reds put 4 on the board. There were 4 hits in the inning. There was a pass ball, and the bases left loaded. 4-0 Cincinnati. Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by your local Dodge dealers. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Well, now the Phillies have a little uphill work to do, giving up 4 in the top half of the inning. And Kevin Jordan to start it all here. Kevin's filling in for Scott Rowland, who's sitting out a rare ball game, but looks like his bat slowed down a little bit right now. Talking about Scott Rowland, not those guys. Their brain has speeded up a little bit, I think.
They've either been to a party or going to one, or should be.
Jordan grounded out on a 3-1 hookup first time around. His last 5 hits have been doubles.
Kevin's done a tremendous job as a pinch hitter. for the Phillies this year. One of the toughest jobs in baseball.
Fights that one off. You know, the problem with Jordan is he's a first baseman or a second baseman or a third baseman. Now you think about Bronya, Morandini, and Roland. Those guys play every day.
Not much room for him. That's why they're giving Scott a day off today, and Kevin Jordan getting a chance to play at third.
He hits the tar out of that baby. Up above the scoreboard. Jordan with his 4th home run. I like the way the sensor went off, Wheels.
Really? I was wondering what he hit out of that thing.
Feathers too, I might add.
It was gone off the bat, that's for sure. Kevin Jordan, Andy, you just mentioned he had 5 straight doubles. Well, he gets 2 more on that one, a long ball into the seats and left, and no doubt about it, home run for the guy they call KJ. Here's a pitch to him from Tomko, a hanging breaking ball, and he jumps all over it.
Rico Bronya, the batter now, and he takes one on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike. Rico was robbed on that play that we showed you as our Budweiser play of the day, the play made by Boone, who was again shaded over that way. And he hits this one to the gap in right center. Extra bases for Rico. They got to run it down at the wall. He'll settle for a 2-base hit. Rico Bronya, who was among the league leader in doubles early in the year, picks up another one here, and for Rico, his 33rd, a career high.
Fastball away, and Rico nails it into the gap in right center. So the Phillies who kind of sleptwalked through the first 3 innings and the last 7 yesterday. Boom, boom here to Tomko in the 4th inning after they give up a 4 spot and trying to get back into this one.
Oh, Rico takes a look around at the surroundings at second base.
It's a run you really want to get now and cut it in half. So Lieberthal, even though he's one of their best RBI guys, probably is thinking about hitting the ball the other way and moving Rico Bronya over to third base.
Lieberthal got a walk first time up. Lieberthal fighting off an 0 for 12 at the moment. Hits that ball in the hole. Reese on a smooth play makes the throw over to first in time for the out. And that is the first out of the inning, with Rico staying at second base. Pokey really was smooth on that play to the hole, wasn't he, Wilson?
Yeah, and Tomko threw him a curveball, and a curveball is a very difficult pitch to stay back on. So as a result, he pulled it. Now, Pokey Reese, we talked earlier, he really hasn't even shown off that arm yet. That time he had to throw it a little bit. But if he gets into trouble on a play, he can fire from shortstop.
First out of the inning, here's Tony Barron, got a single through the middle first time up.
Send belated birthday wishes along to Lillian Timmons of Malvern, Pennsylvania. She recently was 93. We got this letter a little bit late, so happy birthday to Lillian, a big Phillies fan.
Barron takes a called strike. Tony at 276 now, playing on an everyday basis since joining the Phillies. He joined the Phillies just in time for their 2nd West Coast road trip this year. Tomko made his major league debut against the Phillies May 27th, and for good fortune had to go against Curt Schilling.
Pitched well that night, and the Phillies beat the Reds 2-1, one of their rare wins against Cincinnati in the last 2 years.
Reds have been tough. Way inside for a ball. This is the 11th game between the two teams, and Cincy's won 7 of the 10. How about the Reds? They're still wearing those short sleeves that Dion talked them into, and he's long gone, but the sleeves stay behind, huh?
What an influential figure.
Fouled away. That's the 2nd time today I brought up Dion's name and you didn't bite. I take it you're not going to talk about Dion today, are you?
You know, I think he's played it out. As far as playing baseball, I think it's remarkable that he's been able to do both at the level that he has. You know, you have to have a lot of respect for him for that, but you know, I think that gets a little old after a while.
Would you agree that he's not going to play ball anymore?
I think it's probably hard for him to play on turf, play baseball on turf and football.
Yeah. And he's always said that if he does play baseball, it's going to be with Cincinnati. He's happy in Cincy. Here's a little looper in the infield. Tomko's going to catch it. Oh, he dropped it. It's a fair ball. A collision.
Oh.
And they get the out at first, and over to third goes Bronya.
No, he's got to give him first on interference, though, because, I mean, he was obstructed by Tomko, who took the worst of it. He got hit right in the snoot.
Tomko got run over.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they did. They're going to give him first base on that play because Tomko got hit in the face by Barron.
What are they going to do with Rico? Are they going to allow him the extra base or not? They're talking that one over right now, too.
I don't think the runner's allowed to go at his own risk on that play. After, well, we'll see. It's not a dead. I don't believe that's a dead ball.
It was ruled fair, right? I mean, he drops the ball out of the pocket.
Oh, yeah, it's fair, sure.
Fair ball.
Sure, he'd have taken, if that had been a foul ball, he'd have taken all that for nothing.
Get out of my way.
And here's Barron, and he has every right to the baseline because Tomko was right in the baseline. He runs him over. But the play's already been called by the home plate umpire Ripley that it was obstruction. It'll be an error on Tomko and also a sore face.
That's a hard error, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's a deserved error, but it's a hard one to absorb.
Talking about Deion Sanders, and that looked like a football play,
didn't it? I tell you, Barron went into him. I mean, he didn't give him a forearm shiver or anything like that, but you're right, he established his turf. It was his turf.
Yeah, and Bronya is allowed to go to third. He was allowed to advance on that play because the ball was loose.
So that brings the tying run to the plate for the Phillies.
That was a weird looking play.
Wasn't it? Well, it's Sunday afternoon. We ought to have a play like that. Here's Stocker. He was walked intentionally first time up. Phillies need something out of the bottom of the lineup now. They trail 4-1. Into the air to center. Going to get a run in. Back goes Nunnally. Fielder's choice, and tagging from first is Barron. He'll go to second on that deep fly ball. It's a 4-2 ball game. 40th run batted in for Stocker.
Outfielders do that all the time. They will take a base on that because they know what they go through when they have to retreat that far. They know they're not in any kind of throwing position. So Barron had started down towards second, and he knew that Nunnally was fighting this the whole way. He's backpedaling. He can't get anything on the throw, so he's able to move up. I mean, Nunnally did the best he could considering how far away. See how fast Barron went back, tagged up? You'll never see an outfielder not take an extra base on that because they understand.
That's a good point, Wheels. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Now Tomko works on Tyler Green. 4-2 Reds at this point. Tyler's been a good hitter for the Phillies this year, but the one thing he hasn't done is not going to run. He could help himself here. Fly ball. This is not deep in right center. Boone gives way now to the right fielder Sanders, who makes the catch for the final out of the Phillies. But the Phillies have the deficit. 2 runs, 2 hits. There was an error. 1 man left on base. It's 4-2 Cincy.
Beautiful afternoon here at Veterans Stadium. A lot of families out here at the ballpark on a real nice afternoon. And now it's time to look at how they scored a sedate 3 innings. Then the Reds with 4 on Stynes' RBI double. Willie Green an RBI double. Reggie Sanders a single. Made it 3-0. And then Tomko knocked in a run on a fielder's choice. Phillies with Kevin Jordan solo homer. Sacrifice fly by Kevin Stocker. Cut it in half after that bizarre play involving the pitcher Tomko.
Nunnally hits this ball, and Bronya goes over to field it with Tyler's cover, and he's out. Nunnally had started that long bat around for Cincinnati with a bloop double to left field, on which McMillan came in too far.
Tyler Green gave up some weird runs last inning, and the Phillies get 2 back for him in the bottom of the inning, and hopefully he can settle down now and pitch well the rest of the way.
Well, they cut it in half just like that. That's a good sign when you answer back immediately. Here's Stynes. Chris today has not been retired. He has walked and doubled, knocking in a run and scoring a run. Pop up. How about this? He's made 2 pitches. He's going to have 2 outs. Rico in foul ground for out number 2. Eduardo Perez will bat. Well, fan appreciation is 2 weeks from today, the 28th of September. Phillies close it out against the Florida Marlins. We say thanks to all you fans who've supported the Phillies this year. As usual, prizes and surprises on hand here at the Vet, so make your plans to come on out for the final game of '97. Order tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000 or order tickets online at Phillies.com. Eduardo Perez bats with the bases empty and 2 out. He's grounded into a double play and struck out.
The obligatory take after
Got
2
to.
pitches and 2 outs.
Gotta. You know, the Phillies in the bottom half of the 3rd inning went out in a real hurry. I think it was about 4 or 5 pitches when Cummings, Morandini, and McMillan were retired. Up about the eyes, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, the Reds have made such drastic changes in their roster during the course of the season. This is hardly the same team that the Phillies played when they last saw them in May. I mean, Hal Morris was the first baseman, for example. In the outfield, Deion Sanders was anchoring things, and he's not around. Now these days you've got Nunnally and Stynes out there.
Barry Larkin out for the year after finally having to undergo surgery for the bad foot that he had for so long.
So Pokey Reese gets his chance to play.
They've been mixing and matching at 3rd all year.
Yeah, and yet Willie Green winds up leading them in homers and RBIs. Jordan double clutch but makes the play, and Perez is out. And down go the Reds in order in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom half. They lead the Phillies 4-2. Not too early to start thinking about the '98 season. The excitement of this season, of course, has been drifting away here, but the Phillies are putting some pieces in place now. Roland, Lieberthal, Bronya, Morandini. And it's time for you to think about getting your tickets for next year. The number to call is 215-463-5000. And Terry Francona has been so patient with this ball club this year, and it's starting to pay off. Well, it's 4-2 the Reds at this point. Phillies hitting here in the 5th inning with Midre Cummings leading it off. Midre today has popped up and grounded out. He is 0 for 2. And Cummings has been a pretty much everyday player for the Phillies against all kinds of pitching. Ground ball hit to 3rd. Green plays it off a tough hop. Had him leaning back, but he makes the play. Cummings challenges Green, but Willie gets him. 1 down.
Mentioned that they really haven't been able to settle on a 3rd baseman because they've had a lot of different guys out there in the last few years. Have the Reds. He backed up on that ball, and he got kind of fortunate by being able to make the play. Once you back up on a ball as an infielder, you are in trouble. And in that case, Willie Green was able to get out of trouble. The best thing to do with almost every ball hit as an infielder is charge it.
Morandini fouls off the first pitch. Mickey has walked and fouled out today. He's also been caught stealing once. Mickey would like to finish the season strong. When you're close to that 300 mark, it makes a big difference to finish over it instead of just under it. And he had been at or over 300 for the last month or more now.
Really want to see him get 40 doubles too, and he was locked on 37 for a while. He picked up number 38 yesterday. 40 doubles is a very significant number.
2 weeks to go. The season ends 2 weeks from today, and the Phillies have a lot of extra games in there, so maybe he will. Phillies have doubleheaders both Monday and Wednesday of this week. 2-2. Remember Mickey coming up as a young player, and he was kind of spot started there for a while, breaking him in slowly, leaving him on the bench against some tough left-handed pitching, trying to make sure he grew strong and didn't wear out.
Yeah, there was a lot of criticism at the time that they should play him every day, and fans liked him and all, which is understandable because you could see he had talent. But the manager at the time, Jim Fregosi, felt that he wasn't physically strong enough to endure an everyday situation, and Mickey's gotten a lot bigger and has more experience, and he can handle it now. And it's still good to sit him out every once in a while against a left-hander.
Yeah, which Terry Francona did Friday night in the 2nd game of the doubleheader. It's amazing how Terry worked his lineup in the 2nd game of that doubleheader, so almost everybody had the 2nd game off. And that's the one that they won.
Yeah.
And he works a full count. It's 3-2 on Mickey. Into center, sinking. Here comes Nunnally. Makes the play. Morandini's sinking line of the center field is caught by Jon Nunnally. So there are 2 outs. Billy McMillan, who didn't think he was going to play today until about a half hour before the contest, comes up. Jeffries was in the original lineup, but then the strained left hamstring that's had him on the DL was still bothering him, so he was taken out. Now McMillan has struck out and popped up in his 2 at-bats. Humpback looper caught by Eduardo Perez. And down go the Phillies 1-2-3. After 5 innings, Cincinnati leads it 4-2.
After 5 innings of play here on a nice Sunday at Veterans Day, both the pitchers are around. Here's what's happened so far. You see the runs, 4-2 in favor of Cincinnati. Hits, pretty low total. Strikeouts for Tyler Green, 4. Walks, 3. Both of them issuing an intentional walk. One of the runs charged to Brett Tomko is unearned. Here's a play by Eduardo Perez that ended the inning. McMillan hits this one pretty hard. A line drive. Dives to his right. Full extension. Gives up his body. Nice play by Tony's little boy, Eduardo.
Tough day for Tony's little boy's body today, huh? He looked like he came up a little lame on a ground ball, but he has stayed in there.
We will see Tony this week. Tony works for the Florida Marlins and is always around their ball club, so it'll be nice to see him and tell him how well Eduardo played here this weekend.
Willie Green 1 for 2 today, an RBI double. He also scored a run. The Reds lead this game 4-2. Fouls it back, but after those kind of lucky hits that the Reds had, they were really all in the right spot for them anyway. I'm sure Tyler felt a lot better when the Phillies came right back and got him a pair.
Yeah, he did give up some weird runs in that inning, and it's a matter of shaking that off and competing after it happens to you. You learn a lot about a pitcher when there's adversity. It's easy to front run in anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe Paterno said yesterday that he recruited his quarterback Mike McQuarrie because he saw him play a bad game and react well. And I thought, you know, there's so much of that about baseball that you learn about players when things don't go right.
That's the matter of going back to the dugout and not saying anything. Here's a ground ball to second base. And down goes Willie Green. You know, Terry Francona has complimented Scott Rowland on that very thing, particularly in the streak that he's in right now, because Rowland has not taken his offense out to the field with him. He's still, and he comes back to the dugout and he doesn't throw anything and he doesn't say anything and he doesn't, you know, throw a tantrum. He's just out. That's
what good's that do?
Yeah. So Rowland is really showing the maturity of a veteran player, even though he's a rookie.
I've never seen a player get respected yet for breaking a light bulb.
Might get charged for it, but not respected.
Right.
There's Scotty getting the day off and enjoying it. Actually, he's probably not enjoying it. I mean, he understands why, and he knows it's good for him, but he'd probably rather be out there.
Terry Francona, they said, what have you said to him about, you know, his strikeouts? He said, I told him to stop striking out.
Yeah,
which is a great line.
Good advice. Sanders 1 for 2, RBI single, run scored. Well, this guy Sanders, it seems like if they can keep him healthy, he's a heck of a ball player, but he's on the DL every time you turn around.
Has an incredibly quick bat and is really strong, but he's hurt all the time.
Yeah, he would put up great numbers if he would ever play 162 or anything approaching it.
He's one of those guys, you measure his bat speed, it would probably be one of the best in baseball. That's how quick his hands are.
Well, they predicted great things for Sanders from day one, and some of it's happened, but a lot of it hasn't, just because he's not out there enough.
It's also strikeout prone. He gets into situations where he'll go and strike out a lot, and you know, not be able to make use of that great bat speed that he has.
He's a good outfielder and has a good arm.
They say he's a really nice guy too. People around the Reds like him a lot.
Just a little high.
That's the same pitch he thought he had him struck out on last time. And you saw Tyler react the same way when he's not staring in at Ripley as long. See, right there?
Just a little glance.
Like,
huh?
oh, man, that had to be a strike.
3-2 pitch. Popped him up.
Changeup.
Shallow center. Cummings takes charge, and a good thing he did. Sanders out on the short fly to center for the second out of the inning.
There's the new Tyler Green. Fastball away that should have been strike 3 called in his opinion, but doesn't give in there. Throws a 3-2 changeup. Look at the way he got Reggie Sanders out in front, who had to think he was getting a fastball, and jumped at it. And Tyler, that was a very good look from the center field camera at his arm speed on his changeup, how good it is.
Today, Taubensee has grounded to second and walked. Reds are in an ideal situation to have a right-handed batting catcher and a left-handed batting catcher. Of course, here in September they have a third catcher, Fordyce, but during the year Oliver bats from the right side, Taubensee from the left side, so they can spell one another.
And he can play other positions. We've seen Eddie Taubensee in the outfield.
We saw him make his first, or it was scheduled to anyway, we had rain here that night, his first scheduled start in right field. It never happened. 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Reds in the 6th. Cincinnati leads the game 4-2.
Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. By Hoover, nobody gets a dirt like Hoover, nobody. And by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. Bottom of the 6th inning. Kevin Jordan will lead it off for the Phillies. Jordan homered his last time up to get the Phillies on the board. He also grounded out to first on a Perez to Tomko hookup. It'll be Jordan, Bronya, and Lieberthal on a curveball over for strike 1. The home run by Kevin is 4th of the year's 26th run batted in. Grounded up the middle. Pokey Reese to his left, throws quickly, got him one away. Ball wasn't hit very hard, and Pokey Reese, a smooth fielding shortstop, made the play. Well, Tomko's been scored on in just 1 inning, that being the 4th. One of those runs was unearned. Retired the Phillies in order in the 5th, and now out is Kevin Jordan leading off the 6th inning. That'll bring up Rico Bronya. He's grounded out, doubled into the gap in right center, and scored a run. Rico batting at an even .250 on the year. And a fastball outside. The double for Bronya was his 33rd. Misses away again. 2-0. On deck is Mike Lieberthal. Reds got 4 in the 4th. Phillies came back with 2 in their half of the inning. And as we move along in the lineup, Bronya batting in the number 5 hole. The Phillies are loosening a right-hander up in the bullpen. They had Harris up earlier when Tyler Green was in trouble in the 4th. Bronya called strike on the outside corner, 3-1. And the right-hander is Ron Blazer. Outside, ball 4. He walked him. Phillies with a base runner. That is the 4th walk of the game issued by Tomko, one of them intentional, and that will bring up Lieberthal. Mike has walked and grounded to short. Reds have nobody up in their pen. Tomko is due to bat second in the 7th inning, but to this point he has a 4-2 lead. Here's the first pitch to Lieberthal. Comes in high.
Wheels on that.
1 ball and no strikes on Lieberthal. We're getting a clarification on that at bat by Tony Barron his last time up, Andy.
Yeah, well, you had the call right, Wheels. There was obstruction on the play, so it is charged E1, but he is not charged with the time at bat because of the obstruction. So no AB.
Very similar to a catcher's interference play.
Right.
Where the batter does not get charged with the time at bat. Lieberthal fouls this one into the upper deck behind home plate. Oh, a guy with a glove. In and out of the glove and back down into the crowd. That's a shame. Came armed with the glove and did not make the play. And the count's a ball and a strike now on Mike Lieberthal with 19 homers, 73 runs batted in. Grounded towards short. Could be a double play. Boone with a quick release got him. 6-4-3 on the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Through 6, it's 4-2 Cincinnati. Lead it off. He was intentionally walked in the 4th, fly to right in the 3rd. And the first pitch from Tyler Green is high, ball 1. It'll be Boone. Brett Tomko, the pitcher, in the on-deck circle. And then the top of the order, Pokey Reese. All the scoring thus far coming in the 4th. 4 for the Reds and 2 for the Phils. 2 balls and no strikes now to Boone leading off. Brett hits a fly ball to right field. Pretty deep, but Barron right there. Coast over and makes the play 1 down. And that will bring up Tomko. The pitcher grounded to short and then grounded into a bases loaded fielder's choice in the 4th. And that knocked in the 4th run of the inning for the Reds. His 3rd RBI. Tomko batting at 107 coming into the game. The 24-year-old now makes his home in Tampa, Florida. Went to Florida Southern, where he put together a 15-2 record with a 1.35 earned run average while pitching college baseball. Green's pitch, a line drive base hit right center, cut off by Barron. It'll hold him to a single. So Tomko with his first hit of the game, hit number 6 for Cincinnati. The Reds with a 1-out base runner. And then we'll bring up the top of the order, Pokey Reese, who has yet to reach base. He has flied out, grounded out, and was called out on strikes. Reese and Perez in the 4-hole, the only 2 Cincinnati batters who have not reached base in the game. Called strike. Phillies are getting Ryan Karp, the left-hander, up in the pen. Blazer was up earlier in the ball game. Low and outside, 1-1. There is Ryan Karp, a left-handed batter. Nunnally is on deck. Then Willie Green, another left-hander, bats 5th in the inning. Inside, 2-1. Pokey Reese, former #1 draft pick for the Cincinnati Reds, and now playing shortstop with Barry Larkin gone for the year with heel surgery. And he missed again. Tyler has walked 3 thus far, 1 of them intentionally. And 3 balls and 1 strike now on Pokey Reese. He has now walked 4. And down to second base will go the pitcher, Tomko. Reds with 2 on and 1 out for Jon Nunnally, who has singled, doubled, and scored and grounded out. And Mike Lieberthal makes his way slowly to the mound. We mentioned that Nunnally is a left-handed batter. I don't know whether they're thinking about a pitching change or not. It doesn't appear that way. And Steve Ripley, the home plate umpire, now walks towards the conference, and here comes Terry Francona. So he did have Karp up for Nunnally, and he needed a little stall time there by his catcher, and he heads for Ripley, the home plate umpire, so there will be a double change. But Tyler Green will leave now after 6 1/3 innings. Charged with 4 runs and leaves with 2 runners his responsibility. The score, 4-2, the Reds lead at a double switch here at the Vet. Back with more right after this. The double switch for the Phillies will put Ruben Amaro in the ball game. Ruben will play left field and bat 9th. The new pitcher for the Phillies, batting in Billy McMillan's spot, which is number 3, is the left-hander Ryan Karp, who's done a real good job. One of those games a start. A 1-0 record, an earned run average of 2.61, 13 strikeouts in 10 1/3 innings, 6 walks. Phillies not only trying to win this ball game right now, but trying to find out some things about Ryan Karp, whether or not he can get left-handed hitters out, and fits into their plans possibly for next year, because it's so hard to get a left-hander in your bullpen. Phillies had Billy Brewer for a while this year. He went down with an injury and required elbow surgery. They had Eric Plantenberg earlier in the year, who struggled, not able to do the job, and they finally sent him to AAA. So now they're giving Ryan Karp a look here late in the year, along with Darren Winston. who will start one of the games of the doubleheader tomorrow night. Harry mentioned earlier in the game 4 left-handers will pitch here tomorrow night in the makeup doubleheader against the New York Mets. And the situation finds Brett Tomko, the pitcher, at second base. On at first base is Pokey Reese. 1 out in the inning. Jon Nunnally due to bat. And a 4-2 ball game. 4-6-2 for Cincinnati. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Phillies. Carp will be making his first appearance against the Reds as he has yet to appear in this series. So left-hander to left-hander with Chris Stynes on deck and nobody else up in the pen. Stynes is a right-handed batter. And the first pitch to Nunnally misses away, ball 1. Nunnally with a single in the first inning and then blooped a double in the 4th and scored the first run of the game for the Reds. 2 for 3 batting at .308 with 9 homers, 24 runs batted in. Reached out on a breaking ball, pop-up down the left field line, playable. They are calling the infield fly rule. And out on the play. It would not have been an infield fly because it turned out to be a foul ball, but they had to call it anyway, did Charlie Williams, the third base umpire. So there are 2 outs in the inning, and now Stynes will bat as Stocker made the play in foul territory. Stynes has walked, doubled in a run, and popped up foul to Rico Brogna at first. Ryan Karp trying to get out of the inning without further damage. Stynes doing an excellent job since coming over here in the trade with the Kansas City Royals. Went 7 for his first 7. Had a 10-game hitting streak right out of the chute. Breaking ball, a called strike inside corner, 0-1. Eduardo Perez on deck, a strong right-handed batter. This inning to this point appears to be Ryan Karp's because no one else is up. Karp has a pretty good changeup that he can use to right-handed batters. And there it is. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. Started with a breaking ball, then went straight change away, and he's ahead of Stynes, 0-2. Way inside, 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Joe Youngblood, as we look at the Rockies, they're leading 1-0 over Atlanta. Pedro Estacio has done a tremendous job for Colorado. Look at that, 12 strikeouts in 7 innings. I was going to mention Youngblood has a little bit of a problem with a pitcher on second trying to score him. Ground ball up the middle, and it's through. It was hit weakly. Let's see what happens. The throw to the plate by Cummings is late. So even though Tomko was running with 2 outs, he got a decent jump. The throw was offline. Stynes with an RBI single, his second RBI in the ball game, and it's 5-2 now in favor of Cincinnati. This ball goes right up the middle. Cummings charged it, but his throw was offline. He did have a shot at Tomko trying to score. No chance there. So Tomko with a base hit in the inning scores a run, and that run will be charged to Tyler Green. And moving over to third is Pokey Reese, and here's Eduardo Perez, 0 for 3. So the first run of the game since the 4th inning belongs to the Reds, and they lead it by 3. Perez, a strike called outside corner, 0-1. And a heck of a cheerleader down that Cincinnati dugout. Could be the skipper, Jack McKean, who continues to encourage his players, as we can hear. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Low, 2-1. Eduardo Perez, the son of Tony Perez, started his career with the California Angels and has put up career high numbers with 15 homers, 50 runs batted in. Had a long home run here in the first game of the doubleheader on Friday night. Low, 3-1. Perez in a good fastball hitting situation. Willie Green, a left-handed batter on deck. I'd be surprised if he challenges him here. There is Green, who will do to bat next. He didn't. He threw him a breaking ball in the dirt, and Perez checked on it. Perez is beaten up a little bit. He hurt a leg somewhere on a double play ball early in the game, and you can see him hobbling again as he goes down to first. But the bases are loaded now for Willie Green, who has struck out, doubled, and scored a run, knocked in a run, and grounded out. Didn't necessarily have a base to put him with a base open, but with second base available, a left-handed hitter on deck, and behind in the count, he was not going to throw him a fastball. And Green pops it up left side. Kevin Jordan near the stands and runs out of room. And that fan has a souvenir. I've gotten pretty overcast here at the vet, although no threat of rain, we're told. Willie Green, a former #1 pick himself for the Pittsburgh Pirates, has finally found a home here in Cincinnati. Good pitch on the outside corner, and Ryan Karp gets ahead of him 0-2. Karp came into the game, popped up Nunnally, and then an RBI single by Stynes, a walk to Perez, a run in. 5-2 Cincinnati. Bases loaded and 2 outs, and an 0-2 count on Green. Strike 3 called. He thought it was outside, got the call. 1 run in the inning on 2 hits, no errors by the Phillies. The bases left loaded by the Reds. 7th inning stretch time here at Veterans Stadium. Cincinnati 5 and the Phillies 2. Brett Tomko pitching into the 7th inning. Tony Barron leads it off for the Phils in the 7th. For play-by-play, here's Harry.
All right, thanks, Wheels. 5-2 Reds. Barron ground ball back up the middle. Pokey Reese has good range to his left, and he gets Barron. When it left the bat, looked like it might have been a hit, but Pokey covers some ground out there and has a good arm, quick release.
Here's the Chevrolet game summary as we're in the 7th inning. Tyler Green, 100 pitches to this point, to the point when he was taken out of the ball game. All 5 runs charged to him. Brett Tomko doing a good job for the 2nd time against the Phillies. Chris Stynes, fine ball game here today. Kevin Jordan, a home run. His last 6 hits, extra bases, 5 doubles, and a home run.
Kevin Stocker has been intentionally walked in his sacrifice fly that knocked in the Phillies' 2nd run. He looks at a strike. Ruben Amaro is in the on-deck circle to bat for the pitcher, Ryan Karp. 5-2 Reds lead. Phils with just 3 hits off Tomko. Foul back to the top of the screen. No balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Stocker. Amaro came in as a part of a double switch as Stocker goes down swinging. That'll be just the 2nd strikeout for Tomko, 2 down. So Ruben is not, in fact, batting for Ryan Karp. He is hitting out of the 9-hole. Karp hitting out of the 3-hole. Ruben Amaro hitting at .236. 2 outs, no base runners here in the 7th. Reds are leading 5-2. Mets coming in for a doubleheader tomorrow night at 5:05. Single night game on Tuesday at 7:05. Don't forget Kurt Schilling pitches that game on Tuesday in his bid for the 300 strikeout mark. He's only 4 shy of it.
And you would have to think he will get it that night.
You would have to think so.
I know he does.
Well, let's check and see what his low strikeout game this year is.
Yeah, let's see if he has less than 4.
No, I don't think so.
I can't believe he does either. I mean, even when he had a bad outing, he hasn't had many of those.
Yeah, the 1 bad outing against these Reds.
Yeah, 3 home run balls in that one.
That was it. He had only 3 strikeouts in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He only went 4 innings in that game, so that was by far his low.
That was the Deion Sanders confrontation game.
Yeah. 2-2. Struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Tomko, and the Phillies are down in order in the 7th. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 8th. Reds lead the Phils 5-2. Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by your Quality Plus Ford dealers and the new Ford Explorer. And by Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile. For the most advanced digital network on the East Coast, choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile. Father figure fanatic entertaining the fans between innings here. We're in the 8th inning as 5-2 Reds. Reggie Sanders leads it off. Sanders has struck out, singled, and flied out. 1 ball and no strikes to Reggie Sanders. Change up laced in the hole to left field. Ruben Amaro gets it back into the infield, and Reggie Sanders is a leadoff base runner.
It's another example. We talked about Reggie Sanders early, the bat speed he has, and when he hits the ball, how hard he hits it. And that was a changeup, as Harry called it, and this ball just explodes off his bat. He got out front a little bit and still hit it hard. So the key to Reggie Sanders is, to many guys, making better contact. When he does, he gets a lot of hits.
Eddie Taubensee has grounded out, walked, and lined out to left field. On the inside corner for a called strike. Missed the breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes to Taubensee. A lot of well-pitched games in the National League. Colorado 1-0 over Atlanta in the 9th behind Pedro Estacio, and the Mets lead Montreal 1-0. They're in the 8th inning at Shea Stadium.
How about yesterday? Montreal led the Mets 6-0 in the 9th inning. The Expos got 6 in the 9th, and then a 3-run homer by Gilkey won it in extra innings.
That's amazing.
Gets shut out for 8 innings and scores 6 to tie.
The Mets have really been a comeback club, and of course they'll be here tomorrow night for a twilight doubleheader, still battling for that wild card spot. They're 5.5 games behind Florida, but they haven't lost any ground. They haven't gained too much, but they're still battling for it.
And they will come in here and play well, or try to play well, the next few days. And that game yesterday showed they still have some heart.
Yeah.
Hermanson went into the 9th inning in that game, in fact, before they went to the bullpen, which finally lost it for them.
Wow. Line drive center field. Backtracking as Cummings makes the catch. Taubensee is retired, 1 down. Well, the final homestand of the season brings the vet the Atlanta Braves and the Florida Marlins. The Braves are in the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Marlins in 26th, 27th, and 28th. 28th will be Fan Appreciation Day. Make your plans to be on hand for the final homestand of the season. Order your tickets by stopping by the Center City Ticket Office of Mellon PSFS Broad and Chestnut Streets, or by calling 215-463-1000. Terry Francona is going to make a pitching change here in the 8th inning. He'll call on Ron Blazer with a runner at first base and 1 out. So Ryan Karp will lead. We have a pitching change for the Phils. 5-2 Reds. We're in the 8th back after these messages. On the Toyota National League scoreboard, good pitching all day today in the National League. Colorado 1-0 over Atlanta behind Pedro Estacio. Cubs lead Pittsburgh 2-1. That's in the 8th inning. Dave Malicki is shutting out Montreal in the 8th, 1-0 for the Mets. San Diego has a 4-2 lead on St. Louis. Steve Findlay has hit a home run in that game, and the Dodgers just tied Houston 2-2 in the 4th inning at the Astrodome. Dodgers trying to halt a 5-game losing streak. San Francisco will be at Florida in that late afternoon start down at Pro Player Stadium. On the American League scoreboard, White Sox 2-0 over Cleveland in the 5th inning. Boston has a 2-0 lead over Milwaukee in the 5th. Minnesota all over Texas 6-0 in the 1st, and the rest of the games will start later. Yankees at Baltimore will be the night game. Ron Blazer is the new pitcher for the Phils. Blazers won 1, lost 1, a 5.63 ERA. Comes on here with Reggie Sanders at first and 1 out in the 8th inning, and the Reds leading at 5-2. Pitch to Boone, swing, and a high fly ball, slight hooking foul down the left field side and into the crowd. 1 strike to Brett Boone. Blazer on here for Ryan Karp. Blaze has been working with Bruce Sutter on his split finger pitch. A 26-year-old out of Bellwood, Pennsylvania. Runner goes, pitches high. Lieberthal's throw bounces and hits the runner. It's going to go into left field, and Sanders will end up at third. That'll be a stolen base and an error on Mike Lieberthal.
You know, when you see that play and how weird things like that can happen, and you hear that Charles Johnson hasn't made an error all year for the Florida Marlins, it makes you wonder. Here's the throw, and it hits the runner in the back. Now, that can happen anytime. I mean, if you make just a, not that bad a throw. And that Charles Johnson hasn't had an error nor a pass ball the entire season.
That's amazing.
It is, because a weird play like that can happen.
Infield in now, and the pitch is sliced foul down the right field side. 1-2 the count to Boone.
You hear their bench yelling down there to put it in play to Brett and make contact. And with the kind of base runner Reggie Sanders is, they might have a contact play on. You would think they would with a pitcher on deck.
And no indication that he's not going to hit for himself. Tomko is there. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody up in the bullpen, so they're planning to keep Brett Tomko in this game. Boone becomes a big hitter here with a runner at third and 1 out. Colorado just got 3 more on a John Vanderwall 3-run homer, so they are leading the Braves 4-0 now at Turner Field in the 9th.
Rockies have been red hot, but they had a serious funk for about 6 weeks. It just knocked them out of contention.
Chase, the low splitter. It's dropped by Lieberthal. Looks the runner back to third and throws him out. So Boone went after a splitter in the dirt, and he goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Blazer. And with 2 down, Tomko will bat. He is grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice, singled, and scored a run.
The pitch in the dirt, a split finger fastball, and Brett Boone not able to stay off. Now Lieberthal has a little bit of a dilemma here. He has to make sure he looks Reggie Sanders back to third and then throws to first.
One strike to Brett Tomko. Eighth inning, Reds on top 5-2. Two strikes to Tomko. Struck him out, and that will retire the side. Blazer comes in to get 2 strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-2 Cincinnati. Fan Appreciation Day coming up on September 28th. The final game of the season against the Florida Marlins. 135. There's always plenty of prizes and surprises for all fans. Phillies' chance to say thanks to you great fans. Order your tickets by calling 215-463-1000. Midray Cummings leads it off. He has popped up and twice grounded up. Tried to bunt his way on. Bunting foul. 1 strike to Midray Cummings.
Eddie Taubensee came firing out of there when he bunted. The ball hit him right in the mask and knocked his mask off.
Tomko high with it. 1-1 the count. Tomko has pitched well here today for Cincinnati, giving up just 3 hits. One of them the home run by Kevin Jordan. One of the runs is unearned against him. 1-2 to Midray Cummings. Pops a foul back up this way and just below us. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cummings. 20,518 the paid attendance here this afternoon. Buccos have tied the Cubs at 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th. That's well hit to right field. That's going to soar over the head of Reggie Sanders. 1 hop and off the fence, and Midray Cummings rolls into second with a double. So Cummings doubles to lead off the Phillies' 8th, and it'll bring up Mickey Morandini.
Phillies just have never had a chance early on in this game because they've been behind for so much. A fastball away to Cummings, and he lines it over the head of Reggie Sanders for a double. So they've trailed 4-0 and 5-2 in this game and keep trying to play comeback. The Reds have not had the bullpen up at all in this game, and to this point they don't have it up yet.
Morandini is 0 for 2 with a walk. Line drive hit into center field. Midray Cummings will be waved around. It's now a 5-3 ball game on the RBI single by Mickey Morandini.
Tomko getting hurt now with some balls in the middle of the plate, which he's managed to stay away from throughout this game. Both Cummings and Morandini have crushed these pitches.
And that hit will get the Reds bullpen up.
It was another fastball, and it was right down the middle.
Greg Jeffries will come out as a pinch hitter for Ron Blazer as Don Gullett, the pitching coach, out to talk to Tomko, and Stan Belinda gets up in Cincinnati's bullpen. Reds bullpen has been good. Belinda's the setup man and Shaw is the closer. So Greg Jeffries, who was scratched from the starting lineup today, will come out to pinch hit for Ron Blazer. Jeffries hitting at .258. He's 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Batting left against the right-hander Tomko.
Phillies have Ricky Bottalico up in their bullpen. He hasn't pitched for a while.
Fly ball into left field, left center field, and it'll be caught out there by Jon Nunnally. Jeffries out on a fly ball to left center, 1 down. That'll bring up Kevin Jordan. Jordan is grounded out, hit a home run, and grounded out. Bottalico last pitched on Tuesday night at Shea Stadium, so he has not pitched in a while. One ball and no strikes to Kevin Jordan. Phil's trailing now by 2. It's 5-3. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Morandini at first base with 1 out. Two balls and no strikes to Kevin Jordan.
Phillies just a long ball away from tying this game right now. And Kevin Jordan, when he gets ahead in the count and gets fastball to hit, he can drive it.
Morandini first base. 1 down here in the 8th inning. High chop in the hole. A base hit to left field. Morandini will hold on at second base. And the Phillies now with 2 men on base. Coming into the inning, had just 3 hits off Tomko. Have picked up 3 in this inning.
He got his fastball and he got on top of it there and hit a high chopper past the third baseman Willie Green into left field. And as a left-handed batter, Rico Brogna do now. Here comes Don Gullett, and they do not have a left-hander up. They have Belinda, and they're going to bring him in.
Stan Belinda will get the call from the bullpen. Tomko will be taken out here in the 8th inning. So Tomko will lead with a 5-3 lead. He can win it, he can't lose it. He's responsible for the runners on base. Pitching change for the Reds. We're in the 8th. 5-3 Cincinnati. Back after these messages. Stan Belinda appearing in his 79th game. He's among the league leaders in games. He's won 1, lost 3. His ERA is 3.35. 91 in the 3rd inning, 76 hits. 34 runs. He has struck out 106, walked 28. Good strikeout walk ratio, and opponents are hitting just .225 against him.
This is one of those cases, can't find a breakdown with left-handed, right-handed hitters, but with them not putting a left-hander up in the bullpen, they must feel confident that Belinda can come in and get a left-handed batter out in this situation, and a pretty good left-handed batter at that, Enrico Brogna.
Belinda and Shaw have been very good out of the Reds bullpen, so Jack McKeon going with Belinda here with 2 men on base and 1 out. Kevin Sefcik is going to come out and pinch run at first for Kevin Jordan. So Kevin Jordan leads the game. Good game, 2 for 4, including a home run.
Kevin Jordan represents a tying run, so they're bringing out Sefcik, who they feel runs better.
Breaking ball missed inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Brogna. Brogna lifetime is 0 for 1 off Belinda. Popped him up, foul, and it's going to be out of play. About 4 rows back. 1-1 the count to Rico Brogna. Morandini at second. Sefcik the pinch runner at first. 1 out, a run in. It's 5-3 Reds. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Rico Brogna has been robbed of a hit, doubled and walked. Inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Belinda with that nasty sidearm motion has always been tough on right-handed batters. He's not a guy that's going to take a lot off the pitch.
Fouled it back to the screen, 2-2.
Best pitch to a left-handed batter for him is to try and sink it down and away as he did there and get a double play out of it, or run it in hard with a slider. He's very much like our colleague Kent Jacoby used to pitch. Everything hard and try to come in on left-handed batters and down and away to them.
He chased the pitch that bounced up there, and Bronya goes down swinging. So that's 2 outs, and it'll bring up Mike Lieberthal. Lieberthal has walked, grounded out, and grounded into a double play. Stan Belinda on for Brett Tomko here in the 8th inning. Runners go. The pitch is high. He didn't pay any attention at all to the runners. So the Phillies have the tying run in scoring position now on a double steal. Morandini's 15th. And for Kevin Sefcik, that will be his first.
Obviously did the right thing too. He saw he had no shot because Belinda let them go, so he just held on to it.
1 ball and no strikes to Lieberthal. Way outside, 2-0. So a base hit here could tie this game.
See the leads they get here, and the walking lead at second is the key. And Sefcik just follows as Morandini got a great jump off second.
2-0 to Mike Lieberthal. On the outside corner, 2-1. Wild pitch. Holding is Morandini. Ball skipped right back to Taubensee. Morandini picked it up and just decided he could not be thrown out at the play, which was certainly a possibility the way it caromed right back to Taubensee.
Yeah, the scariest part of that was the runner at second base, Sefcik, went halfway, almost 3/4 of the way to third. He was in no man's land when this came back, but they were so concerned with Morandini at third, I don't think they noticed where Sefcik was. Good base running by Mickey to see it come right back. He's a dead duck.
Yeah.
But Sefcik was the one. He was hung up out there.
3 balls and a strike to Mike Lieberthal. Jammed him and he pops a foul. It's coming back and out of play. Full count to Lieberthal with the runners at second and third and 2 outs. Lieberthal called out on strikes. Pitch on the inside corner, and that will retire the side. No runs, or rather 1 run, 3 hits, no error. After 8 innings of play, it's the Reds 5, Phillies 3. Tonight at 9, Tom's in the public eye after his daughter is caught shoplifting on the Tom Show, only on WB 17. Kevin Sefcik stays in the game to play third base, and Ricky Bottalico will come in to pitch here in the 9th inning. Bottalico appearing in his 62nd game. He's won 2, lost 5. He has all of the Phillies' saves, 29 of them. A 3.92 ERA. 66 2/3 innings, 63 hits, 29 earned runs, 78 strikeouts, and 38 walks. So Bottalico has not worked since Tuesday at Shea Stadium. We'll get an inning of work here. On for Ron Blazer, who struck out both batters that he faced. Cincinnati's bullpen has Pedro Martinez, the left-hander, up along with Jeff Shaw, who is their closer. And leading off for Cincinnati to face Metallico will be Pokey Reese.
Here's the pitching line of Cincinnati's Brett Tomko. 7 1/3 innings pitched. 6 hits.
Pokey Reese is 0 for 3 with a walk. 1 ball and no strikes to him.
3 strikeouts. Gave up 1 home run ball.
1-0 the count to Pokey Reese. One on one. Two balls and a strike. 5-3 Reds lead. We're playing in the 9th inning here at Veterans Stadium. Tried to check the swing and did check as the appeal goes to Hirschbeck. So it's 3 balls and a strike to Pokey Reese. Full count. Three and 2 to Pokey Reese. Struck him out. Came back to get him. Reese goes down swinging, 1 down. All 5 Cincinnati runs charged to starter Tyler Green, although he deserved a better fate. Reds put together 3 doubles in the 4th inning, none of which were hard hit balls, but opposite field doubles, and that hurt him. Here's Nunnally. He got one of those doubles to lead off the 4th. He's 2 for 4.
And the Phillies have made a couple runs at the Reds today too, and not able to produce a whole lot of offense again this afternoon.
Curiously now, Shaw is down and Pedro A. Martinez stays up in the bullpen. The Phillies scheduled hitters in the 9th. Shot, fair ball down the right field line, kicks off the fence, and Nunnally will get his 2nd double and his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Here's Nunnally, and a pitch away from a fastball away, and this guy has shown to be a pretty good looking hitter in the series throughout the weekend. He hooks that one down the line, takes a good carom for him for a double. You know what you're talking about with Pedro Martinez up and all right-handed batters. We've seen him before, and he has a pretty good changeup, a screwball type changeup that he throws away from right-handed batters. Could be that they want him against right-handed hitters more than left. That's why he wasn't in to face Bronya.
Maybe they're giving Shaw a day off also. Saved the game yesterday.
Yeah, at least give him a day off to start the inning. Or maybe Shaw's ready and Pedro's deking us.
Shaw pitched in the last 2 games. First game of the doubleheader on Friday and yesterday, recording saves. Nunnally at second base with 1 out. That is Pedro A. Martinez up in the bullpen. Got to use his middle initial because of the brilliant right-hander at Montreal.
Who is Pedro J. Martinez.
Right.
Actually, who is the Pedro Martinez.
Yeah. 0-2 to Chris Stynes. Stynes is 2 for 3. Metallico fell down, and now he's holding his left ankle.
Yeah, it's almost as if he hurt his ankle a little bit then. He's going to take a little walk. You see Jeff Cooper and Terry Francona are concerned.
They're going to come out.
I don't think there's any doubt that he just turned his ankle. And you know he's going to say he's all right. Now they'll really try to find out with him.
He's going to, I think, try a couple of pitches.
Here's a look at see if we can see what happened to him. It's his landing foot, and it twisted and gave way on him, and he reached for the ankle right away.
And Ricky says he's all right. 1-2 the count to Chris Stynes. Nunnally at second base with one down here in the ninth inning. High fly ball right field. Tony Barron has it lined up. He makes the catch. Tagging and moving to third is Nunnally after the catch. So with 2 outs, runner at third base, and it'll bring up Eduardo Perez, the first baseman. Game at Turner Field is over, and here in the 7th inning, Padres have a 4-3 lead on St. Louis. Mark McGwire has hit his 51st home run of the year. He had 34 at Oakland, and he now has 17 for the Redbirds.
You would think that they are going to try so hard to sign him in the offseason. And he's hit a lot of long home runs that everybody around the league talking. Well, he's fun to watch in batting practice.
He really is. Perez is 0 for 3 with a walk.
So in Jason Stark's column today, in Colorado, he hit a batting practice home run into the players' parking lot. Now you can picture that where our bus is.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost impossible.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Way over 500 feet.
Yeah. Maybe close to 600. 2 balls and no strikes to Eduardo Perez.
Well, I don't know how they measure him, but I'm sure those guys, when they put their car in the parking lot, thought it was safe.
Yeah. Colorado 4-0 over Atlanta. That's final now at Turner Field behind Pedro Astacio. Called strike, 2-1. Florida will play later on. They need to keep winning for their wild card shot. Mets have shut out the Expos. Dave Malicki 8 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. Those New Yorkers will be moving in for a twilighter here at the Vet tomorrow at 5:05. Atlanta's lead over Florida now is 5 games in National League East.
Yeah, but only 4 in the loss column.
Yeah.
So we talk about the wild card, and that seems more realistic, but I'm sure that the Marlins are also thinking about catching Atlanta.
Walked him, and that'll put runners at first and third with 2 outs for Willie Green. Willie Green has struck out, doubled, grounded out, and struck out. Calico trying to get through this 9th inning. Chops the ball, foul. Bronya.
He tried.
Bronya tried to use a little sleight of hand, but
he did a great.
Steve Ripley and Mark Hirschbeck would have none of that.
He did a great Wallenda down there, just trying to hang on that foul line and act. He kept his body in fair territory, but the ball was obviously foul, and neither of those umpires were going to go for it.
1 strike to Willie Green. Curveball. Right down the middle for a ball. 1-1 the count to Willie Green. Chased the curveball that bounced up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Green probably is not going to see a fastball to hit here with the count 1-2. If Patelico does throw fastball, he'll throw it high.
Willie Green is a very good fastball hitter.
Was a high fastball. Now they try the double steal, and safe at home plate is Jon Nunnally.
Stocker didn't get it out of his glove the first time. The Phillies saw it coming. Now the throw over to third, and safe over there is the other base runner, Eduardo Perez, who hurt his hand. And Mike
Lieberthal is
Lieberthal's
also
banged up.
hurt.
Well, this is, he gets dirt in his eye.
So with 2 strikes on the batter, the Reds execute a delayed double steal. Perez taking off from first, and as soon as the throw goes down to second, then Nunnally steals home.
But see, they anticipated it. Stocker comes forward to meet the throw, but he didn't get the glove out, the ball out of the glove right away, and Lieberthal got kicked in the face there. That's what happened. That's why he's holding on to a tooth. Here they come again. It was good base running by the Reds, but if Stocker gets this out the first time, I think they get him. See, he didn't get the grip the first time. And then Mike gets kicked right in the face by Nunnally.
Now the ball gets loose, so Perez moves up to third. Somebody gets an error. I'm not sure who at this point.
I think Lieberthal was checking his dental work at that point, too. And over to third goes Perez because nobody called timeout.
So a runner at third. It's now 6-3 Reds, and it's full count now to Willie Green. Stocker did double clutch, but Lieberthal also did not take a look at the runner at third, which he should have done. He should have looked him back to third base. As Perez was, you could look him back a couple of times, and Perez wasn't going to go anywhere as far as a stolen base. No, I mean, you could look Nunnally back. Perez was the runner at first,
right,
and he was only about a quarter of the way.
Right,
quarter of the way to second.
That play's designed to get a run, to try and get the throw to go to second base. Because he just stops. The runner at first just stopped.
Yeah. Beats the ball foul. Still 3-2 to Willie Green. So the Reds have picked up an insurance run here in the ninth and lead at 6-3.
Mentioned earlier that the Reds lead the league in stolen bases. A lot of because of Deion Sanders. But there's an example there where they literally stole a run for themselves. That Nunnally looks like a pretty good player.
He sure does. He's been impressive in this series. He's a 25-year-old they got from Kansas City, and 3 for 5 today with a couple of runs scored. Came back to get him, struck him out, and that will retire the side. But the Reds steal a run. They get a run in the inning. 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 6-3 Cincinnati. Changes for the Reds in the bottom of the ninth. Pat Watkins comes into play center field. Jon Nunnally will move to left field. Lenny Harris comes into play first base. There's Nunnally moving to left field, and Lenny Harris now at first base. And the new pitcher is their closer, Jeff Shaw, who's done a tremendous job for him. 4-2 with 36 saves, 2.34 ERA. Look at his strikeout walk ratio. 71 Ks and just 11 walks. Tony Barron, the first one to face him. 1 strike. Barron is singled, safe on fielder's obstruction, and grounded out. He is 1 for 2. Really jammed him, and he pops it up foul. Lenny Harris puts it away.
That's the kind of ball that caused that obstruction earlier.
Yeah. What can you say about Shaw? Shaw's a guy that's been around for quite a few years, and all of a sudden Brantley goes down. Shaw gets a chance to, for the first time in his career, really, to be a closer.
Yeah, we used to see him as a starter with Montreal, and yeah, what can you say except he's done a heck of a job. He got an opportunity. He's made the most of it. He's always had a pretty good fastball and slider. and has risen to the occasion for the Reds this year. It's a lot of saves.
Yeah, he was a good setup man for Brantley last year. He won 8 out of the bullpen and saved 4. Had a 2.49 ERA. It's a 31-year-old that has really had a good year. Kevin Stocker is 0 for 1 officially with a sac fly and an RBI.
I read a story about him that he's really happy with Cincinnati. He lives in an area called Washington Courthouse, Ohio, which is a short drive from Cincinnati, so he commutes. And he basically lives at home. And he said it's really relaxed him, and he loves pitching for the Reds.
36 saves and 42 opportunities, and that's going to find open spaces and bounce over the head of Nunnally, and Pokey Reese finally chases it down. Stocker will hold on at second with a double.
These are the kind of balls that can turn into triples or inside the Parkers. Had one earlier. Pokey Reese is anything but that, as he backs up Nunnally very, very well. He takes off down the line, tracks this thing down after it hits the wall, and makes sure that Stocker stays at second. Shortstop can play.
It brings on Ruben Amaro. He has struck out in his only at bat. Reds lead 6-3. We're in the bottom of the ninth. One and nothing to Ruben Amaro.
That's a good sinker from Jeff Shaw. About 90 miles per hour on the board, and that kind of pitch to a left-handed batter can get them out.
Yeah. Good movement on it. Missing. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Just missed. 3-0 to Ruben Amaro.
And 93 on that fastball, which was close to a strike.
Got that pitch over. 3-1 to Ruben Amaro. Stocker at second base with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Phillies trailing 6-3. Ground ball fielded by Boone. Lenny Harris gets back to the bag. Amaro's retired. And on the play, Stocker moves up to third base. It's up to Midray Cummings to keep the game alive. Cummings is 1 for 4 with a double.
Nice job by Shaw there, too. He saw that Lenny Harris broke for that ball, and that there could be a possibility that he was needed. And he really hustled over to first, and he was right there also.
Shaw, if he saves this one, can tie Rod Beck for the league lead in saves. Sliced into left field. Nunnally will never get it. That's a hit for Midray Cummings. Coming in to score Stocker. Cummings with his second straight double, and it's now a 6-4 ball game, and the Phillies will bring the tying run to the plate. Mickey Morandini will be the batter. Morandini is 1 for 3 with a walk.
It's 2 left-handed batters. Both hit sinkers away and blooped them into left field. And this time Nunnally was a lot deeper, and he didn't let this one get over his head. It's still a double.
Morandini is 3 for 10. Lifetime against Jeff Shaw. Bobby Estalella has moved into the on-deck circle. So what Terry Francona is hoping is that Morandini gets on and take his shot at a long ball.
Sure. He would bat for Batalico. Every hit that Bobby Estalella has this year is a homer.
Two strikes to Morandini. Mean Ray Cummings at second with 2 outs, a run across. Reds lead at 6-4. Loops a foul out of play. Still 0-2 to Mickey Morandini. One and two. Really got in his kitchen to hit to Lenny Harris, and Harris makes the play himself, and that'll end the ball game. Phillies do get a run in the ninth on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Reds win by a score of 6-4. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in a moment. Veterans Stadium, where the Reds win 6-4 over the Phils. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 8 left for Cincinnati. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 7 left for the Phils. The win goes to Brett Tomko, 11-6. Tyler Green goes to 4-4. Jeff Shaw tied for the league lead in saves now with 37. Reds taking the season series 8-3. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Jon Nunnally, went 3 for 5, including a pair of doubles. Reds outfielder Jon Nunnally, our Chevrolet player of the game. Our next telecast here on the Phillies Television Network, Saturday, September 20th from Wrigley Field in Chicago against the Cubs, will be on the air at 4 o'clock. Check your local listings for the games carried in your area. Once again, the final from Veterans Stadium, Cincinnati 6 and the Phillies 4. For Andy Musser and Chris Wheeler, Harry Callis, thanks for watching. Talk to you Saturday from Wrigley on the Phillies Television Network.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, it's where you're going. By your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.